Hello, everyone. Jose J Garcia, real estate investor coach and mentor here. So this Saturday, 10 a.m. Coaching is networking. There's no coaching here. We'll turn it to networking, no matter how we put it. But networking with me, talk about mobile home investing. That's what we're trying to do on here. So connect from the comfort of your home. We move on here and invite other people to come in. Originally, this call we were going to make it on. Let's see. Talking about contractors. I think we're going to leave that for next week at this time. We got about 15 minutes here. So what I want to do instead is break some of these deals for you. Okay. A lot of people are asking me, repeatedly sending me text messages, and I have no issues breaking these down for you and showing you what I look for. Okay. But figure instead, let's make it into one call and hopefully it answers everybody's questions. So, okay. And I'm going to just pick a random one here. That Albany one you saw, it's actually got quite a bit of potential. So stay tuned for that one. Of course, we'll show you on another date. Let me see. All right, so let me just pick one out of here, okay? And let me see. Now, YouTube, you cannot see my screen, so bear with me 1 second. It's a lot trickier than I thought. I love YouTube. You know, we had a set call for YouTube, but it kept bouncing us back. So we went live instead. So, okay. Well, you can always join us on Zoom. You can go to GarciaMHU.com, see the coaching series and or the events, and it'll show you on there the networking for Saturday mornings at 10 in the morning. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'll take this one here, and Instagram, you can see that live as well. Join us on Zoom also if you want to see a little better view of that one. But here's a good example, okay? This home is located in Dublin, Georgia. Dublin, rental rates are not as high as what I would like. Of course, you know, and I think we get a little spoiled sometimes when we see some of their rental rates in the area like Central Georgia. You know, Dublin, Georgia, if you're not familiar with Georgia, that's East Georgia, about 45 minutes from Warner Robins Perry. That's sort of that area. But the rental rates here about 650, 675, 700 maybe on the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe double wide a little bit more. But again, you know, it's all about exit strategy. If you are the bank, if you're financing for somebody, then at that point, you know, you can always tack on another 50, 75, or even $100 more, meaning on a rental rate area that may be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 650, you're now around 750. So it adds to, of course, there's interest added in there from your note, your finance, depending on how you structure that. But again, there's always the lot rent that you have to pay. So with the lot rent being there, you know, you take away from even a 650 minus whatever the lot rent here is 425, you add that up. Okay, so that's where the profit comes in. So keep that in mind. But in a sense of, let's see. All right. In the sense of the home itself, okay? So what do I look like? What do I look at when I'm trying to invest in one of these homes, okay? You know, it gets to the point where once you look at so many mobile homes, it's just one more mobile home, like anything else, right? Once you do something over and over, you get better, your practice becomes what? Kind of thing. So when I look at these mobile homes here, and yes, many, the majority of them, I can decipher whether it's going to be a deal, whether it's going to be something I'm going to take just based off the pictures. Now, I suggest, especially if you're new getting into mobile home investing, that you go out and see the properties, okay? Always see the properties. If it's not you, maybe it's somebody you can send out there, maybe another investor, a wholesaler, a family member. It does not matter. Always put eyes on the property. Now, okay, if you're working with somebody, maybe a partner, and obviously you trust their judgment, then that's one thing, okay? But I see a lot of investors, especially new ones, coming in here and saying, oh, this looks good, I'll take it. That's plenty on. Now, in this sheet specifically from our team, that's plenty good because we've reviewed these properties already for you in a sense. I have walked each and every one of these properties that are on this sheet. So it kind of saves you a lot of that work and our credibility. All right, let me see. I think YouTube is trying to connect to the video, so we'll see if it links onto it. But okay, the same thing, whether I'm in person or whether I'm actually going out there, it's always start from the outside to the inside, from the top to the bottom. Remember that. Okay. So every time I'm walking to it, even and this happens, especially if you have direct seller, meaning somebody who actually lives in a mobile home, they are going to talk your ear off pretty much. You can almost bet on that. Okay. Not rudely, but I'm not really listening. Okay. Because the second I get off my vehicle, I'm already looking at the top. Some you can see the roof of. Can't get a good picture on this one. Some you cannot, but that's okay. Okay. But what I'm trying to do is get eyes on the roof. Okay. It just depends on how the mobile home is set. You can kind of see this one in the background there. That would be a good example of one you can get a good idea if you were over near it, that you can get a good look at the roof. So I'm looking at the roof and from the roof down. Now, these metal on metal, they're my favorite. My favorite because they are the easiest to rehab, to fix. I mean, think about a vinyl siding, okay? A vinyl siding, this home here is probably about a mid-80s. If this was vinyl siding mid-80s, that vinyl would be gone, okay? It would have been destroyed by now. So the fact that it's metal on metal is still very much intact. All this nasty stuff that you on it, it's just over the years. But you're talking one pressure wash will clean all this off and make it look as good as new. Okay. Then you can paint them. Okay. These mobile homes here, you can paint them, you can roll them, you can spray them, whatever you want to do, and start almost over with them. We've got 5 in another park in Dublin that's exactly what we did. We pressure washed them. They look good, but you could definitely see the age wear. Now, those were early 80 models. So we decided to go ahead and paint them, and we painted them all the same color. But it just makes it so easy and so affordable within budget that you can do these things. Okay. And that's the point. That's the goal as a mobile home investor, that, you get in and you stay within your budget. Okay. Another mistake I see, I'm spending too much money. I hear that repeatedly. Now, if you already had a budget and you already had it planned out, you should not over be spending. There is the, oh my gosh, what if moments kind of things that do happen. What if we start tearing floors inside? And we'll get into those pictures here in a minute. You're going to have surprises and you're going to have extra expenses, sure, but you should have already allocated for it. Okay. Now, when you're doing your expenses and your allocation and all your planning, a lot of that goes hand in hand with where are you planning to do your shopping? You're browsing for material. Okay, if you're just guesstimating or you just think something is worth something, you're setting yourself up for failure that way anyway. So we'll talk about that here shortly. But okay, so looking from the outside, reviewing this mobile home. Roof, if I can see it, and it doesn't matter. If I can't see the roof, obviously I know it probably needs to be re-rolled again. But once I get on the inside, again, top to bottom, I'm going to look at that ceiling. So we'll get into that. But yes, here, this one, as ugly, dirty as it looks, there is nothing wrong with this mobile home. This would be an easy pressure wash, clean it up, good to go. You want to paint it, if it's within budget, paint it. Okay. Inside, I'm looking at the ceiling because, again, if it leaks, obviously the ceiling would be damaged. Common sense, right? So look into these ceilings as much as you can see. Now, why am I showing you some of these pictures? And this is beautiful, by the way. This is what you want to see. Nothing. There isn't a dot anywhere to be found. I think there might have been a little fix here at one point, maybe. I'm not sure. Nothing to be worried about or be concerned with. And again, hallway, everything checks out. What if you were in another state in investing in some of these mobile homes and all you had was pictures? You couldn't really get boots on the ground. It's getting a little hard for you to get anybody really to go out there and see it. You will find that issue as well. Okay. At that point, what that means is that you're going to have to get better by seeing mobile homes every day. Okay. So whether you spend time at your nearby mobile home parks to get an idea, because again, the more you look at these things every day, the better you're going to get. You will get to a point where you start pointing these things and saying, oh, that's a 14 by 60. Oh, that's a 12 by 70. Oh, that's a 16 by 80. Again, you get better and you start learning the makes. Okay. So the same way, once you see so many, you know things to look for, you know areas to focus on and not so much others, right? So when you're getting pictures, you're doing the same thing and you're not just guessing, I think this looks okay. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about a surprise flooring here in a second. But one of the things, once you get past the roof, the ceiling, okay, ceiling checks out. This is awesome. This is what I like, okay? But once that checks out, the next thing I want to look at is windows. Okay, because windows leak as well. Okay, now if you're seeing damage right here or inside some of these windows that you can see, remember, if you're seeing damage when you're walking into the room or in a picture here on the inside, just think how much more damage is between the exterior and between the interior that you're already starting to see it in here. There is insulation in between his walls, obviously. So if you're seeing leaks, all this inside is damaged. It has collected enough that it is coming through the home at that point. And then into the floor. And whether you can see it or not, you know, all that leaks, I mean, problems don't get better over time, right? You've heard that, I'm sure. So once that leaks and it starts getting into the floor, you got that issue as well. How much has it spread into the floor? If it's particle board, it is like a sponge. I assure you half of this room would be gone quickly. Same for this window. So pay attention to these seals. Here's a tip for you, okay? Save you money, trouble, and time. The same stuff that you roll the roofs with, use it to seal the exterior of the window, okay? Which means you're going to go around the window seals and seal it. If it's good enough for 10 years on the roof, I say it's pretty good enough for the windows, okay? Save you some time. There you go. All right, so windows check out, right? From what I can see, I don't see any damages, and you'll be able to see it even on this flat surface that you have here. This is nothing more than a piece of cardboard, really. I mean, it's made for the mobile homes. You would see damage here right away. So this is a home that is checking out more and more. Now, what is one thing? Same thing. Look at that. You can see, and you can see all around. Okay, it checks out whether it's already been repaired by somebody, or maybe this home just luckily got through and it's been no damages. Who knows? But it checks out. So at first look, and this is where investors, okay, make the mistake. They see this thing, they avoid all this right here. Ew, ew. Next. You didn't do a single due diligence by looking at this and thinking it was ugly. Is it ugly? I don't know. I'll let you opinion on that one there, okay? But what it is, once we get into the numbers, it's going to be a good investment. So stop looking, and I say this repeatedly to many, and a lot more investors. Stop looking at these mobile homes with your heart and start looking at them with your mind. It is not for you. You're not going to live in it. I mean, if you are going to live in it, then that's on you, okay? Then maybe you just need to rehab it to your standard. But stop looking at this thing as in, oh, it's not pretty enough. It ain't supposed to be pretty enough. If it was pretty enough, somebody already would be living on it, or it wouldn't be an investment opportunity, okay? So let's move on. Next thing, anything that can leak inside the home, okay? We're focusing on leaks, okay? You can put it that way if you want. Toilets, vanities, open these doors. I want to see in here. Now, when you're walking into these homes anyway, you're going to already start feeling certain things, okay? Bouncy, squeaky, those are not good signs, okay? Problems don't get better over time. Repeat again. So if you're feeling, you're walking into even say mid to this floor here, and you're feeling a little bouncy, that's most likely particle board under there. Or if it is, because lumber technically doesn't do that. I mean, after a while, it settles, even if it was nailed, screwed correctly. But I wouldn't be so concerned with that. You'll hear more a lot of squeaking, kind of some of those areas. Vinyl will start tearing. If you don't have the floor correctly underneath, you have some gaps or you have some overlays, you will start seeing tears. Obviously, the vinyl is not meant to fix that. So vinyl just sits and it will tear once you start walking on those edges, okay? But I will pay attention. Same thing here in the sink. Look under there and see for leaks. If there is a leak in one of these areas, for instance, okay? And bathrooms are notorious for that. If you open these doors and you see leaks here, okay, there is damage under the floor. Okay, unless the vanity has caught it and it hasn't been a long period of time, then, you know, odds are you can probably just replace the floor inside the vanity. Yes, do not replace the entire vanity unless it needs it. Good example here. If the floor is nasty damage in here, there's nothing wrong with the exterior of the vanity. One simple sheet, cut it to the size of, good to go. Toilets, okay, this one only has 1.5. Okay, so there's 2 bathrooms. Where's the other one? There's, okay, so 1.5, there it is. Same thing here, look at the vanity, okay? I wouldn't replace all that. The toilets, if they start leaking, and this is real lumber, by the way, so you're in luck on that. If this starts leaking, you know, resealing it, but pulling it up. So seeing how much damage is underneath. A lot of times what I see is the lumber right around the edges where the water has started leaking. Even if it is lumber, it will start to mildew it, ruin it, and I mean, it's a simple cut that you can do. A bathroom this small, right here, I would just replace the sheet, okay? Because you're talking about maybe 1/3 of an entire plywood sheet that you can get at Home Depot for $40, $50, right? So this is where the mat starts to come in. This one here, the same thing. I would fix only what's needed, but don't piece flooring. And I wish I had a picture of, I've seen the worst piecing where people will cut out little bitty sections of flooring and they start laying it and laying it. That is about as crap as you can do, okay? One, it takes you so much more time to do that than just cut this section out and put a whole new sheet. Stop wasting time with that. Common sense, right? So Moving on. So the roof checks out, exterior checks out, ceilings check out. I don't see no leaks. Okay. Let me tell you a story about a mobile home we did end up investing in it. Okay. Here's a good picture. Look at this flooring here. Okay. What damages or what issues do you see on it? Other than that little corner right here, looks like the bottom maybe pulled. It might got a tore maybe, which would be an easy fix. We had a mobile home in Savannah, Georgia. It was a double wide, and it looks similar like this. Floorings, everything checked out, nothing major. I decided to go ahead and get boots on the ground. I could not make it out there, so we got somebody to go out there and check it out. Okay, now we were ready to close because the deal was good, numbers were right, and again, once we reviewed the pictures of the mobile home, I didn't really see any issues. Surprise, surprise, though, right? So we send the gentleman out there, and he calls me very quickly after, basically stating I cannot walk into the mobile home. As soon as I start walking in, I mean, the vinyl is holding the floor up. What does that mean? It means most likely, and carpet will do the same, okay, there is particle board under there. If there's somehow the mobile home has lost insulation underneath the home and moisture is getting in, that particle board is going to suck it up like a sponge and start giving out. The vinyl most times gets adhesive, means gets glued to the floor. So that will help hold it in a sense, but it's not really much of a floor there. So as soon as you start stepping, it is going. It is going. Okay. I have walked into mobile homes where I was walking on carpet and finding where the 2x6s, okay, the beams that go across the home were. So I was walking every other step because that floor was gone. So those are the surprises that you're going to get when you're trying to invest and you're seeing on pictures and or videos versus actually being there. Okay. You will not be able to tell if there's anything wrong with this floor underneath unless you are there. Remember the bouncy, the squeaky. You can't tell that on the picture. So keep that in mind, the surprises that can come. If you're getting pictures like this from a seller, I would always ask, open these doors. I want to see what's in there. That was just a closet. Well, I want to see it. Okay. I want to see what's in there. I want to see what kind of damages, because again, we're evaluating from start to finish here. Okay. So let's talk about numbers on this one here. Everything else is good. This home, I can't do a whole lot more. I mean, when you think about rehabbing, Jay, what would you do? Clean it up. Clean it up. Some of these stains here you see, paint them. I mean, go ahead and put a new paint job. The ceiling, I always say paint the ceiling, especially if it's got that nasty yellow. Maybe people who smoke lived there before. I would say paint it. When you paint a ceiling, it just opens the floor. It just makes the whole home look bigger, cleaner, nicer. So I would say that. But this one here in this case would already be done, so I wouldn't be concerned on that. But little stains like you see in these areas, okay? Go ahead and repaint them. It takes nothing to paint a few of these walls. Go to Craigslist, Let Go, Classified, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. Where can you find cheap paint? I just told you. Go find them there. Or go to Sharon Williams and start an account. You'll get discounts as well, right? A lot nicer paint there, that's for sure. All this right here, it's just stains. It's just an eyesore. Now, again, you're making presentability, you're staying within budget, and you make them a livable condition for somebody. Somebody comes in here, this is really move-in ready in a sense. Somebody can do an easy cleanup and be good to go, okay? Pressure wash, and I think this is what's making it the worst for most people. They're not seeing past these stains and all this. It is not stains. It is from trees from over the years that a pressure wash would remove easily, okay? Let me see something here. Okay, so let's talk about numbers here. I'm going to break these down, and I hope one of you has a calculator. All right, so Dublin, Georgia, lot 210. It is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. It does not have the size. I would say it's probably a 14 by 70. Okay, lot rent is $425, and then the rental rate is $650 plus. The resale value, meaning if you were to come in here, clean up, touch up, do all these little fixes that I just told you that you needed to do, nothing wrong with the kitchen, by the way, okay? Everything checks out there. You would get around an estimate of $18,000 after repair value. That's an investment that you can do, okay? This home is only selling for, and I ask investors repeatedly, show me where you can get another housing that you can come in and get for $2,500. It is a no-brainer. A lot of these people on these calls, and this call, we have a call similar to this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we go deal after deal, but we don't go in depth what I just did. There is more just presenting. Here's this one. Here's that one. Here's where this one's located. Here's the rental rate, et cetera, et cetera. We move along. We don't break down like we just did here. We'll probably start doing this a little bit more. But $2,500, what do I estimate would take the rehab? My goodness, if you spend more than $1,000 here, I mean, you overdid it. Okay. Cleanup is easy. All you're going to do is clean up, a little bit of touch up. You can get somebody to come in and pressure wash this mobile home for $150, $200. It'll look as good as new. You're still within your $1,000 budget. Paint it. Okay. Maybe you need to paint it yourself on that one. On average, I get people to paint my mobile homes on the exterior for about 300, depends on the size and then the material. So you're looking at about maybe close to 500 at that point, right? If it needs to be resealed, which I didn't see a reason why, all the ceilings checked out, not even a glimpse of, you don't need to worry about the ceiling, the resealing the roof at this time. Okay, could have probably already been done. Numbers on this. So you would be, let's just say worst case scenario, 4,000 all in. 4,000 all in, that you have a multi-exit strategy availability here. You can turn this thing into a rental and get this number. You can turn it into a rent to own, maybe finance it for somebody, create a note. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. Send me a message. I'm happy to break that down for you on another video. Okay. How to create notes, how to create an RTO agreement. Okay. A lot of people need to know how to do that as well, because that's when you start getting into the legality of stuff. Okay. But you got exit strategies that you can do. So this sheet here is available for those of you on Instagram there. If you don't have this sheet yet, send us a message, J@Garcia, GMHU.com. Send me a DM. Be happy to share this with you. This same sheet is the same sheet that we present every Tuesday. We upload new information and it saves immediately, which means that every time you open, you're getting the latest and the greatest. Now, this is just one example. Look how many tabs are in the bottom. This is all deals. My goal is to have 100 homes here, meaning every time you open a sheet, you have 100 deals to choose from. Okay. This is just one of them. Let's look at another one real quick. Look at this one here. Outside has already been pressure wash, painted, skirting, everything tucked in, beautifully done. This was actually from another investor who got this mobile home and didn't decide to carry on. Their loss is our gain. Okay, we can easily come in here. Look at that, all lumber, 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 lumber. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see particle. Shower. This top part got redone again, and there's extra material in the home. This would be an easily as coming into putting vinyl or carpet, cleaning it up, and you have yourself another deal. This is a good example of what I'm talking about, piecing floorings. Okay, this is not terrible, but it's no need. Okay, you got one sheet here and one sheet, and then you got junk going on the sides. Get the sheet off and put a whole nother one. I mean, you got them right here. Why piece it together, right? But many times it's just the handyman contractor. That's how they like to do it. So, but again, another deal and another one. Okay. There's another one, same area. Then you get into Florence, South Carolina. Some of you are waiting for me to come to your backyard with deals. Well, stick long enough and they may come around, right? And the list goes on. Mobile home after mobile home. What is one thing that we can say about all these mobile homes have in common? Profits. The ROIs are there. The numbers don't lie. All right. I'm paying a little attention to screens and a lot more attention to the one I'm looking at. So if any questions, drop them real quick. We've already gone past the point, past 10:30. I actually got another coaching call I got to jump on. But anybody on Instagram, if you are interested in some of these deals, send us a message, send us a DM, or drop a comment. The video will be posted on our YouTube probably as early as Monday. You can always go back and rewatch if you're tuning in a little bit later. I kind of wish I would have chose this home. This one's a little nastier, so a little bit more to rehab, but okay, if y'all want me to do this, something like this again, or if you have a home that you want me to break down for you, let me know, send it in. We'll be happy to review it and we'll go from there. The first time on YouTube, I hope this worked out. Hope, yes, because I don't know who's watching. I don't know what's going on. So the actual call didn't go through, but okay. Thank you everyone on Zoom for joining, and same for, let me see here. There we go. And same for Instagram. We'll see you next time.